All right. I'm Flash Gets Tom. This is Flash Gets Hunter. This is Flash Gets Don. Welcome to Cream Crew, baby.
Yay.
Smoke weed every day.
I'd tell you the first thing I know I have to get into while it's still fresh in my mind. I've been keeping it bottled in.
Demon Slayer.
As we took the fucking comments recommendations and we watched Demon Slayer. What a fucking hot, steaming pile of fucking garbage that is. I went off on I was streaming the other day and I told him, I was like, oh, Demon Slayer. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, why would people recommend this shit? Has anyone seen it? And people are like, oh, it's great. It's so good. And then I just went into this like 40-minute barrage of just how
you
like
fall into a black hole.
I mean, I feel like I remembered every frame of that fucking episode. I remember I was cackling to myself from how fucking stupid it was. Especially whenever he's like, oh, I'm just the guy that everybody likes. No evidence really, except me walking into town and 3 people know my name. Also, all right, we're going to have a like 12-hour time shift to where it's like morning and now it's nighttime. Oh, you can tell that it's nighttime because not only is it nighttime, but all my charcoal, I'm a charcoal salesman. I'm going to go out into the woods with no charcoal in my hay fucking backpack. And then this creepy old man's going to open up the deal and be like, hey, by the way, you shouldn't go out there. There's demons. Why don't you come in here and sleep in my house?
Demons? What?
This is the first time I've heard of this.
Exactly. And then in this world where demons exist, this kid's just like, I doubt that demons are real. I doubt it. Then you have some, and he's just like making him a bed next to his bed. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty crazy, by the way. Those demons live out there and they eat people, which is pretty crazy. Thank God we have these things called demon slayers. And they kill the demons. So
what are those?
Yeah, and he's like,
I'm 16 and I've never heard of this.
I doubt it. I doubt that's real. I'm gonna go sleep now. I can't wait to go home and see my family. I'm sure they're gonna be fine. Goes to sleep. Immediately goes home. His fucking family. That like, why do I care about them? There was one frame of like that fucking child with like.
Don't you remember the beginning, Hunter? Where like for 2 minutes,
the 2 minutes,
like, hey,
the 2 minutes of her being like, have fun selling coal, and it's just them all doing this.
I'm
like waving
I'm
goodbye.
about to have a baby, and I have another baby here, and we're very happy and safe.
Nothing is wrong at all.
Literally, we've lived out here this entire time. Haven't seen a demon. There's nothing ever been demon-like in these woods. And now, hey, I hope you have a good day selling charcoal. I love you, son. Type deal.
Man, how is it, he should have been suspicious of the old man. He's never heard of these demon characters.
Yeah.
This old guy's like, hey, there's demons. Oh,
yeah,
he is. Then the very next day.
He is simultaneously the most trusting and least trusting guy in all of anime.
He just sat there. One thing when he sat there, and exactly, if it would have been funny if he would have opened the deal and he's like, hey, it's pretty dangerous out in those woods. And he's just like, yeah, I know it gets dangerous in the fucking woods, old man. I can take care of myself. And then if he was like, oh, but like also it's dangerous because there's these like, ungodly beings that will eat you out there. Anyways, just food for thought. And if you would have shut the blinds and then if the kid would have like been like, wait, what'd you say? And like gone inside, like, what do you mean? What the fuck are you talking about? But instead it was just so like, hey, don't go out there. There's demons. Come on in here. You want some food? You can sleep here. And he's like, okay. Like that was the fucking bit. And it drove me insane.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. When he meets the Demon Slayer.
I was gonna say that's where it's tipped. That's where my frustration. That's the peak frustration.
I'm 18 years old and I'm a demon slayer.
I've never met a demon who's been different.
When
he don't exist.
He's carrying his sister.
Whoa, she's different.
She's warm.
Yeah, she's different.
Remember how he says that whenever he's carrying her, he's just like, she's still warm. And he's like throwing her over his shoulder. You're my sister and I have to save you. And then, like, another reason that I hated this episode was that you don't see a demon. You see like her transform into a cat. She's like a vampire. And my favorite part is when she's like, why are you so big? She like grew randomly for like no fucking reason.
Oh, and then she went back.
And then she went back immediately.
Boys, I don't want to defend a Demon Slayer. But that was very clearly, she started growing as she changed more into a demon, and then she realized she still loved her brother and became less demon.
Well, what's funny to me is it just didn't stick with me at all. Like I forgot that even happened the way it was presented.
I mean, I'm sure that it like read that way, but to me,
I'm sure it'll come off.
It was just how he just had to say, you're bigger. Like like I have eyes, I can see that she is growing in size, type deal. And then from there, the entire sequence with this fucking awful looking demon slayer, which I'm just gonna go off for a second. The demon slayer comes in, thrusting down with the force of what I can only assume is 4 fucking atom bombs, with 2 children wrestling in the snow. Did he have to come in and it was like, boom, type deal? And he's like, oh my God, don't kill my sister. And, and then there's the weird back and forth with her, him being like, you're a fool. You let your guard down, blah, 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 blah. He does this really gay, like, oh, I threw a rock at you, but then I was throwing an axe at the same time. And from that retarded standpoint, that gains a stranger's respect. He was able to throw a stone and an axe at the same time. He's different. These children are different. He knocks both of them out, which this is all way longer too. I'm saving you so much time. He knocks them both out, and then he waits around for him to wake up. Instead of like going up and be like, hey, blah, 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 hey, want to talk to you? Hello. He waits. He's like, all right, you're awake. By the way, go to the top of this mountain. Tell him that this guy said, you're going to look for this guy. Tell him that he sent you. All right, I'll see you. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be sure. I'll definitely remember that information. And then he puts a fucking like scroll in the girl's mouth. They bury bodies. And that's the end of the episode. In what actual world we live in is that a captivating first episode to where it's like, actually, I do want to watch more of those episodes. I think you know what? I will watch an episode 2. I really think I will.
We know some unnamed intelligent people that really enjoy this.
Fucking Jenkins.
Jenkins in it.
God damn it, Jenkins.
Jenkins from MASH really liked
Good
this.
job, Jenkins, you dumb fuck.
I literally, I think, maybe.
Sorry, Jenkins, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so
maybe
sorry.
if I would have seen a cool demon, maybe I could have been like, yeah, maybe there's some stuff down the line. I saw a Catwoman.
Well, see, that's the thing. Everyone's big deal was like, this show spreads its budget so well. Every shot is a fucking painting, a beautiful painting. Right. And we spent like 20 minutes in the same snow forest.
Yeah, 3D
the same snow forest for the whole. Yeah, it was. And the thing that really annoys me, audience, and this is directed to you, audience, is that we very specifically laid out the type of anime that upsets us. And it's anime with over-exposition of everything.
Tons of that.
And the one you jump to, and there's going to be so many people be like, I told you to watch this other fucking anime! Fuck you! And
I don't care.
enough.
There's been too many. The overwhelming majority was Demon Slayer. I would say like the overwhelming majority was Demon Slayer.
I don't know. Do we give him another shot, like another chance with something else, or is it just over?
Do you mean like, do we watch the second episode, or what do you mean?
No, oh god, no. No,
Okay,
not more Demon Slayer.
If you ask for another recommendation, you're just going to get another herring,
Another what?
A miss.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is a fair point. We did afterwards watch Evangelion because James Lee recommended that, and we thought, all right, well, we can't just watch one episode of Demon Slayer. It was the biggest blue balling of all time. So we watched Evangelion, and that was actually all right. Like, I didn't mind that.
Neon Genesis, the original one, I guess.
Evangelion's weird, right? Because everyone's like, basically they did the original run, and then they weren't happy with the ending, so they like remade the ending like 7 times, and they still are not happy with it. That's my very limited, stupid understanding.
Is that why it was like 7? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So they're like, watch episodes 1 through 20 on the original, then watch episodes 1 through...
Well, with Gundam, they just make an alternate universe that also has Gundams and just
Even
start over.
Evangelion,
like, what is this mech? It's a Gundam.
The pilot episode of Evangelion is like basically what you were saying, Don, is like literally the first episode. It's Gundam. Like, I mean, it's like it's literally Gundam.
Yeah. Gundam did come first too.
It did really.
Well, I mean, just like even just the tropes or whatever, which is fine, I guess. It was more tolerable. There was just a few things where I was like, oh god. But all in all, like I was actually just like, I thought it was entertaining. Like, there wasn't hardly any exposition, I don't think. It was mostly just like, it like just told the story, and it didn't think that I was like some dribbling fucking goon that couldn't keep up with like, yeah, your dad's like this CEO, and you're going to be lifelink to this fucking robot.
In defense of anime, though, most of its audience are dribbling fucking goons. Yeah, so maybe it makes sense.
That's where I wanted to proceed with this. So there actually is, and this is going to be another one of my weird Wikipedia
Yes!
science
I'm in.
references.
Here we
Go
go.
on.
Scientist Don's back in. First, it's if you're a younger brother, you're gonna be gay. And what's this one?
Excuse me, scholar of science, Don.
Scholar of science, PhD.
With this week's reading.
Autism. I'm feeling like this is going towards autism.
I can see that, like on the spectrum.
There's a trend where people with autism or Asperger's tend to really like anime.
Now, Don, can you give us some kind of site at all?
No. Let me continue.
Right.
I've seen it discussed by people that are on the spectrum that they tend to gravitate towards anime because everything that in other media would be couched in emotional nuance is so thoroughly spelled out to them,
right?
So they can understand the content, basically.
I like how your first starting point was you diverted into I have Uncle Tom's. I have Uncle Tom's at my disposal.
What do you mean, Uncle Tom's?
You're yes. Autists, autists themselves agree with me. I have a select 10 autists who are furthering my point.
They're in my basement, in my little inlet.
These are the people that drive this industry. 1,000,000%.
I don't actually. I think you're right.
Fucking
probably
consume it. They buy pillows. They buy mouse pads with
We're gonna make one of those,
which we're gonna make.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But I mean, like, the thing is, though, is like, it makes sense, right? It feels like whenever I'm watching these anime, I have to try very little. Like, I mean, it almost feels like it's like whenever it's like I'm doing one of those puzzles that they give children. That's like the big box that has the different shapes in it, and you pick up the shapes and you put them in. You know what I mean? It fit like that. You know, I feel like I'm doing one of those while I'm watching these anime. So it's like he ran up to the volcano, and I'm like, okay, he ran up to the volcano. And then the guy's like, oh my God, I just ran up to this volcano. And I'm like, okay, so good. He did run up to the volcano.
It does feel like watching it that someone is running an iron over your brain.
Yeah.
They're just slowly evening out the creases.
I feel it. I'm like, I know.
Smoothing the creases out.
That's what was so refreshing about Evangelion, though, is they were literally showing, not telling stuff.
Well,
she would say stuff, and he would get like a little visual flashback, and it was a fast one too.
Very quick.
It's probably too fast for those Asperger's kids.
Well, there was one where he was like, my father, I haven't seen him forever, and I mean, it was if we're on 24 frames a second, that motherfucker was shown on like 12 frames and then cut like half a second of like a kid standing in an alleyway, just like.
Sad.
Just alone.
With a packed
bag. That's what you get. That's all you get. And I was like, I respect that.
That's show, don't tell.
I will say, though,
a bit
too.
Of tell, don't show, too.
In terms of...
it was cinematic.
Really it was way more cinematic. It had everything about it, I found myself being like, oh, that's cool. Like the whole, even just like the giant mech suit being in like that, kind of maroon, like cooling liquid. And shit, and they have to swim through it to it was all just really cinematic, huge, grand and shit. Also, the villain was kind of really mysterious and fun, and there's just little bits of really strong animation that felt so natural to the show. Like there was parts in Demon Slayer where I was like, they put their best guy on that. You know what I mean? Like whenever he's running through the snow and it's one thing that looks almost rotoscoped because it looks so good. And there was moments like that in Demon Slayer, but whenever you have something like that and it's just so blatantly a gold covered piece of shit, it's it's still shit. You know, I don't care. I want to at least have something to be this story's good enough to where the visuals also just really pick it up for me. The story's okay, but the visuals are also awesome. I'll give it some lead room, but Demon Slayer, shame on them. shame on you. Shame on all of you.
How much is the anime industry worth? It has to be billions and billions of dollars.
Oh my
right?
God. I can't even imagine.
How many autistic people realistically exist?
Well, that's what I was just thinking.
With the birth of cell phones, I imagine a lot.
Because an excuse that's used a lot is it just doesn't translate well to English. But why is it then the Japanese culture to just explain everything you're seeing? And why wasn't it that the case in the 80s when anime was in the 90s and stuff with Evangelion and stuff? Why is it sloped from good cinematic storytelling to this, and now it's like weirdly like xenophobic to criticize it because it's just quote unquote supposed like Eastern storytelling being
that is
just
odd.
Explain everything that's happening over and over
If that
again.
is Eastern storytelling, then it is objectively worse.
But then why? But it didn't used to be that way.
Well, I think it has, right? I mean, Dragon Ball and stuff was always like that too. I mean, maybe not too.
Yeah, but it's there's also like a differentiation between what is a kid's show and what isn't. Because if you're a kid's show, you don't understand stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I guess Dragon
beat you
Ball
over the head with it.
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I think, were definitely like geared towards like it's like a children's show.
But it's not like Demon Slayer is a kid's show.
Yeah, like there's blood and like there's
everything
like
that's happening over and over again. Just so
well, I guess
it's
there's blood in Dragon Ball Z. What's the line between Dragon Ball Z and Demon Slayer then of like a kid?
I think that's a cultural thing though. Like I think to a certain extent that's accepted. We're much more puritanical, you know, here. Like even in Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball Z when Goku was a kid, which is like just 100% a kid's show, not even a teen show. They've still got like violence and weird like pussy jokes and stuff.
I know that also, to be fair, I will address that. I think that anime to me is also just like such a defined taste of like, Tom brought this up too, of like, you know, I like really shitty horror films and it's like the same thing over and over again, just presented in a different way. And I eat that shit up. So I just literally think it's just not for me type deal.
Throwing stones in your giant glass house.
Yeah. Yes. Throwing stones in my giant glass house and then like wearing no articles of clothing ready to be cut.
Just fully exposed to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously, like intelligent, together, normal people like anime, and they like the worst.
Do they, Don? Have you ever met one? I feel like this is very PC. Is he though?
Shut the fuck up about JoJo.
Yeah.
Even before he was cast
I think Rice Pirate is displaying his severe levels of autism with his fan-made JoJo project, which looks fucking awesome and great, but to do that in your spare time,
yeah, it's true.
It's got to show a level of spectrum behavior.
Very highly functioning, even a daywalker.
The thing with JoJo is it's one of those things where I probably would have maybe given it a chance just by how actually like over the top it looks, and like that's kind of fun. But when somebody recommends something so like heavily and they like hype it up, I just know that I'm not going to respond well to it because I feel like there's this inherent nature in myself as well to be like, I'm not going to like that just because you are trying to force it down my throat. And like that is, you know, I find myself thinking that a lot as well. That could also be a problem with why I don't like anime.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely retarded.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's who I am. I'm a good man like that.
It's interesting watching like Western takes on anime too. I heard from so many people like, oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. God, that proves that the West can do anime. And I was like, okay, and I watched it. And you know what? It did prove that the West can do anime because it was just as fucking terrible as every other goddamn anime I ever watched.
Yeah, I didn't think it was horrible. I enjoyed it for what it was, a kid's show. But I cannot understand the just incessant repeating that the guy with the burnt face man, Avatar.
Burnt face man.
Zuko is the greatest antagonist ever. Just because because he's like an edgy emo boy that
my favorite part of that whole show is that in the first scene, I mean, he has a burnt face and like we have to go into hiding. He grows his hair out. I'm like, yeah, your face is burnt. It's all burnt up. You can't. He's like, actually, now my hair's down, so now I can sell soup with my uncle. It's like, no, dude, you're a famous fucking prince. What are you talking about? You fucking idiot. Jesus.
They foreshadowed his turn so hard as well.
So hard, yeah. Like
everyone's like, whoa, the twist. I'm like, it's just Vegeta. We've seen this. We know what's about to happen. It's just Vegeta.
Vegeta is a better anti-hero.
I love Vegeta.
Oh, no, of course. But, like, the turn into, like, the friend, he starts off the, like...
That's what I mean. And then they do this, like... to the extent that it even worked, they fucking ruined it. When he shows up Like they throw his entire character and his entire demeanor out and just sub him in for this like awkward middle schooler when he tries to interact with the heroes as a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's like, have you seen the whole thing?
I fucking checked out, honestly.
Yeah, he sat there and like, they're like, how can we, the whole deal. How can we trust you? And he's like, I'm a good guy now, I swear, type deal. And he's just, and then he's like, it is fucking awkward. But those shows
his confidence and bluster is just like gone. They even had the scene with him like pacing in the woods, trying to figure out how he's gonna say it.
He had one cool episode, and it was when it's like a whole episode dedicated to him being this mass. You remember it's like called like the Blue Devil or something? I think it's in the first season or some shit. I can't remember what it's like all about. He doesn't firebend at all. It's like him just like these two swords, and he's just like this fucking ninja taking out this deal. But there's like really no story to it. It's just like a badass episode, and you're like, oh, that's cool. But other than that, yeah, he's just a fucking giant crybaby bitch that wants to go back to his abusive dad, and you're like, oh, why? Why would you want to? That deal to gain my father's respect. That dude just punched like a fucking comet into your face, and you're just like, I gotta go back to my dad.
He's got bad wife syndrome. Zuko is a classic bad wife.
But I remember also the series ends, and the last line you hear from Zuko is his dad is in prison now, and he goes up to his dad, and he's like, all right, I'm going to ask you one last time. Where's my mother? Nothing comes of that. Why even add that in? Who was he going to do?
Because they're setting up a fucking new series where Zuko goes and looks for Mummy.
But it never happens.
Oh, I thought she was just dead.
Well, they're leaving it open.
Well, no, that's what you assume, but then it's like some offhand thing of like his fucking bitch sister's like, actually, mother's alive, and it's like, oh, goddamn, I'm like just exhausted by the end of it. I'll tell you what ruins all these kids shows though is that they introduce like love interest.
The fact that we're adults
into these.
It's the fact that we're watching kid shows and like criticizing them like they're fucking masterful cinema.
But we have
not
to
at all,
because there's other serious adults that swear by it as like an adult.
Oh, we're like the antidote.
That's right.
I like that.
No.
Okay.
I think there's plenty of it. There's plenty of kid shows.
Can't you just get in a fucking taste?
There's plenty of kid shows that I think still hold up today. Like old SpongeBob. I think I still watch and laugh my ass off at, or like.
Sure, yeah.
Even old Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff. But
what he's saying is that this is presented as a serious drama that an adult should take seriously. And
what I'm saying is whenever you take these...
storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. When you present it that way, or whenever you start to introduce things that are serious into something pre-existing that's supposed to be kind of goofy. A good example of that is like I really enjoyed the first like couple seasons of Adventure Time, and like I just enjoyed it stylistically. But then it just became about him like wanting to like get fucking pussy from like all these different like princesses and shit, and he's all depressed and stuff. Why? Like why do I care about what the fuck Finn is doing? Which I guess you could have the argument that it's like the show was like growing up with its audience or something, but it just never felt that way. To be fair,
that's like one of the biggest juggernaut kids shows of all time. Like they were doing something right.
I mean, you shouldn't equate success with like product.
I mean, also like Nickelback is like multi-platinum and stuff, but they're still like well hated and shit. I mean, I love Nickelback, but I'm just saying the deal is that it's just mostly like I guess where I checked out in those shows of where it stopped being about like it stopped being like a fun D&D session, and it became more about like petty like teenage drama bullshit that I just don't care about.
Are you talking about Cobra Kai right now or Adventure Time?
Well, I guess both, but got him.
Do you like that segue?
You just like get up, you like just get up and like there's like a basketball goal, you just slam dunk immediately.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Did you watch season 3, Hunter?
I watched, I think, 5 minutes of the first episode, and I said,
nah. You didn't get through it, yeah. Yeah.
I said,
fair enough.
Nah. Even towards the end of the second season, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, Did you guys finish the second season?
Yeah.
I finished the second season, but I'm not even going to follow
the second season, when it ends with him, like, fucking making that kid, like, a paraplegic or some shit, he, like, kicks him off a railing, and it's, like, this weird, it looked like it was, like, a high school drama. And I'm like, why are we focusing on the kids so much? Shouldn't we be focusing on like the adults? Like, let's get back to the adult. Like, fuck these kids. I don't care about them. Like, who cares? They're like good for B story plot, but
to be fair, I do still remember the gasps.
Yeah,
the gasps I heard from downstairs.
I won't deny it.
When Don and his girlfriend were watching Cobra Kai.
I've been there. I've been with Miguel. Because he's like the new Karate Kid. I do not give a fuck about Sam or Johnny's son, whatever his name is, or any of the other,
the hot white
losers. Yeah.
Hot white
He's
boy
pretty hot though.
The hot white
Terrible
boy that's like
90s
finger
haircut.
fucking the other guy's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just lives out in the pool house and acting like they're not fucking out there. I'm like, come on, dude, really? You can't have one episode where he catches him just like fucking deep dicking this chick. Dad, get out of here! He's like, Mr. Miyagi wouldn't approve, and slams the door.
Mr. Miyagi, I'm sorry.
Wax on! Wax on! He like runs off, goes to his Zen garden and starts fucking raking it up. Dad, I need to be by
it's
myself.
gonna be when she gets fucking teenage pregnant. It's gonna be a real like fucking bet as to what color that baby's gonna come out. There's gonna be
now see if that would have been the show to where she's like in the delivery room and they're getting ready to fight on the hallway. You know, I might be the dad. I might be the dad, and that would be awesome. And then they're like, please, son, stop fighting. And they're like, she's giving birth in the background. They're like, go ahead.
fucking twatting each other in the head with medical equipment.
Yeah, exactly. Now that would be fucking awesome, and I can get behind that.
And then she has triplets, and they're one of each race.
Yeah,
like the sperm coalesce.
Who the hell have you been fucking? God damn. It's like the janitor like walks out. He's like, I'm actually in love with her too. Like, oh god damn. He's like a karate guy though too.
Wouldn't it be so funny if Johnny fucked her? If it was just like this like washed up, disgusting guy, and he just starts giving her like speed, and it's really just this dark story of grooming.
Yeah. It ends up like this pedophile strikes it rich with a karate studio, and then he ends up like grooming a child and getting her pregnant.
Grooms the daughter of his high school nemesis.
She's showing up to the studio with like
you fucked my girlfriend in '82. Now I'm gonna fuck your daughter.
She's showing up to the fucking karate studio, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then he's just like, "Oh, are you here to sign up for classes?" And he like walks her into the office. And she like shows like 3 positive pregnancy tests, and he's like, how could this happen? Like this like whole deal, like this arc, like that would be that'd be quite the story. I would watch that show.
Yeah,
I pulled out, and it always works. It's fail proof, bitch. It's like the punches the wall.
Well, I mean that would track because the whole thing is about like these old attitudes and this old way of thinking. Like Johnny's is kind of like, oh, just fucking go to the hospital. You just put a plaster on it.
That's fucking storytelling, dude.
Yeah,
I think I think I checked out real quick in the 3rd season, the 1st episode, because he's like drunk at a bar because they fought at school or something, and now the town is revolting against karate. And he's like, these people are. He's at a bar, and he's like, he's like, it's like a news broadcast, and it's like karate banned at local high school, and he's like looking up at it like, damn, shit.
Yeah, you caught on it. Literally every episode. Like I'm ashamed that I watched it, but every episode I was telling you, jumped the shark.
Right.
Just every single episode they did something that was more implausible than what they did before.
But not in a fun way.
No, in like a completely unrealistic. Like I'd really like them to just start doing Hadoukens. Just
fucking arrive there already.
The Street Fighter magic out. Yeah, it'd be fucking sick. Like
that or
Miyagi's like ancient 1,000-year-old grandfather shows up and teaches him like
the dark
chi magic.
That or like she like the guy's in his black like custom Challenger or whatever with the Cobra Kai logo on it.
Nice.
Because apparently he can afford that with 12 students in a fucking LA karate studio. That doesn't matter. But he's sitting there and he's like, he drops off Miguel and his girlfriend's there, and she's just like, or he's just like, all right, sensei, I'll see you next time. He's like, sure. She's like, hey, Miguel. And then she like glances over and the episode's end with like the guy, like they like make eye contact and she like smiles at him. And it's like the sexual chemistry starts happening there. I'm like, that's where we need to go. That's where we need to head. And then at the next episode, he's like, why are you looking at my daughter so much? And he's just like, it's a sweet treat. And he's like,
she's all grown up. She's 15. She's 15, Johnny.
Yeah.
If there's grass on the wicket, let's play cricket.
He's like,
I want to point out something very racist. In season 2,
Okay.
There is a British English stereotype
Oh, God.
who just exists to be beaten up and obnoxious.
Good.
Oh, you mean the
You don't remember?
the cheating
Yeah, he's like, all right, all right, mate. And then like Johnny kicks a shit out of him for being fucking British and obnoxious, and then he walks off and he goes, "No problem, mate." And I was like, "You fuck,
Yeah.
you fuck."
Yeah.
And they're like, "America, yeah."
Yeah. Get him. Get him. No, I was gonna say before I wanted to add one more thing is like he's sitting there, he's like, she's 15, and he's like revving his engine real loud, right? Puts on some Motley Crue, kickstart my heart, and he just looks at the dad. And he just says, "Get there before the hair." Puts in fucking drive. Gets out of there. How awesome would that be to end an episode?
I think the ratings would go up.
If Johnny was just
If Johnny was just trying to bang LaRusso's daughter, wouldn't that be the funniest shit?
What if he? And then
it's too late. They would have had to heel turn.
It becomes this love triangle between Miguel. He's like, she let me get to first base last night. We kissed for so long. It was awesome. And he was like, I dug in my cleats and I was heading for home last night with her, but cool story, bro, or some shit. It's like a weird, and then like they end up fighting. Wait, are you saying that you're fucking my girl? He's like, yeah, you're a girl, bro, type deal. And like, it's like nice. Like, I want that.
And then that 80-year-old fuck comes in and makes this a square.
The human crocodile comes in and he's like, I've been fucking her for
That's how he shows up. And that's how they should have introduced him, literally like in the back of her. Just wherever he's just, they roll them in on a trolley and he's just in the back of her.
They're like fighting and they're yelling. They're yelling
she's
at each
doing
other.
downward dog and they're on like a cart with wheels and he
a
just
little slow motion reaction shot. You see each of their faces and it's just like a slow pan up.
Well, I just want it's just doing downwards dog in the doorway and he's in the back of her. He's like, Cobra Kai is mine.
What if he was sitting there and he got in a fight with Miguel? He's just like, I don't care, fine. They get in a fight. She's like, well, if you fucking my girl, then I'm not going to go to your classes anymore. He's like, fine. And he drives off, and he's like going back. He's like, oh, I left something at this karate studio. Right? He's like going to go drink there or something. He like opens the door. He doesn't turn on the lights and the moonlight cascades in. You just see him. You just see like a doggy position deal. And it's like the old man, but it's his old ass. And he just like slowly, it's like him. It's like him
he turns and she turns with him. Just inside her. She patters her hands around.
It ends with that Cobra Kai emblem.
Oh my god, if YouTube weren't such fucks, this would be grade A cartoon. Yeah.
I feel like nobody cares anymore either.
Oh, absolutely not.
We're gonna go pee. Bye.
All right, we're back from our piss break, and
well, there's a. I know that you wanted to address, and I think you should, for the sake of keeping this whole venture afloat. Is last episode you wore a robe hat, a clan hat. Well, I'm just going to come out and say it. You wore a clan hat on camera, and I've been getting a lot of questions about that. And maybe if you just make a statement, kind of explaining where you're at and what you were thinking and why you would do something that's associated. Well, it's a hate symbol, effectively. So I'll give you the floor. I mean,
right. Tom made a very cute photo.
I didn't make a thing.
Tom took a screenshot.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say it's a screenshot.
Don is a very honest man.
It's funny that you say it's a screenshot when there's literal video proof that I'm not wearing it at all. And that do you know what's the worst thing though is that you took time to put it in Photoshop and really make it look realistic. And I got, I definitely got some messages regarding it, only to have to sit there and be like, no, it's a joke because it's funny because he's British. And he's a British retard is what I have to say. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. And then some people just didn't respond, so I could only assume that we lost a couple fans with that one.
So you wore a clan hat and you lost us fans.
No. Actually, you know what happened? This is exactly what happened. Let me do a little reenactment for you. Imagine Justin put one of those like little like fairy wand like memory back sound. Here I am sitting at my desk, And then all of a sudden,
Can I play Tom?
I get a message. No, I get to play Tom. I get a message, and it's from Tom. And then he says, "Oh, you want to call on the Discord? You want to call on the Discord?" And it's funny because he even texts in a British accent, which is very hard to read at times. I'm like, "Yeah, we can." So he calls me up, and he's like, "I think I have this funny bit about putting you in a clown outfit, but I want to run it past you." And I was like, I guess so. Like, it looks really realistic, though. Oh, well. I mean, if you want, I don't want to upset you. I won't post it. And I said, "Oh, no, Tom, you don't have to worry about that." And he's just like, "I just want to let you know that I really value your friendship and that
This is not the angle I thought you would take this.
if there's one thing that I want you to know is that I'm very insecure about myself and that I love you and I also love Dawn. I think you're both incredible."
You know, I guess I'll first plant the flag that this did happen. You did wear the thing, and it was posted to YouTube, and then YouTube went ahead and
cut that section.
Cut the section. It was up for a week, and a lot of people were really upset by it.
Everyone in the comments who saw Hunter in the video before YouTube edited it, put it in the comments.
All right.
We were unsure about it. They made
fun.
the decision for us, and they went ahead and just excised that from the video. So that was probably for the best. But regardless, Tom felt it was right for people to know, so he leaked the screenshot. All of that happened, but I do want to say that in this hypothetical fictional universe where Tom did hit you up and ask you if it was okay first, for you to then out him,
right,
if, say, that hypothetically did happen, is only encouraging someone like Tom to, in the future, just go ahead and do this sort of thing without asking for permission first.
Well, I figured that, I would be the bigger man here. I would let him explore his little jokes and be fun. And, in the future, it would hopefully, give him responsibility to be like, maybe I won't do this because I'm not an actual ape. I'm not this Neanderthal, But that is yet to see. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Harambe
sure.
went up to the child and asked its mum if it could have the child. You give Harambe the child, and then you're fucking surprised when Harambe acts like a gorilla and tries to kill the child. And you're then saying that's the gorilla's fault.
Well, I think the most offensive thing out of all that was that it's Harambe. Pretty well known. Fucking Harambe.
It was bothering me too.
Harambe. Is that like some new jazzercise? Some
Harambe.
new Ethiopian fucking jazzercise dance that you're doing?
That's just how English people say Harambe. I'm sorry.
Why did you decide to pronounce someone's name different?
It's just Harambe. It doesn't matter where you're from.
What's the capital of France, boys? What's the capital of France?
Yeah, but that's a place. That's not a name.
It's Paris, according to your argument.
Okay.
Bitch.
Yeah, but that's a location, not I guess somebody's name.
What difference does it make? I call Mexican people Jesus. I'm like, hey, Jesus. What?
I will say, well, I'll tell you something. What a terrible, what a terrible,
and let me dig my own grave.
What a terrible little, what a terrible bit that was. maybe if we had no video still, but it doesn't matter. What does matter though is that Tom moved out and Don is in his own house. How does it feel, Don? How did it feel waking up this morning knowing that he wasn't there?
It's weird because I don't want to be here either. Like, I wish it could be like, yes, fresh, but like I don't know. I think what it illustrated is the bigger effect is even though I would have assumed it would have been being in the presence of Tom perpetually, it's being in the presence of work perpetually that's impacting me. So yeah, it wasn't so bad. If anything, I kind of missed you.
Oh, really?
A bit, pal.
That's odd.
I just thought it was weird.
What do you miss about me?
Beats the fuck out of me.
Huh.
I miss you being here to entertain the cat because he was a pain.
Yes. How was the first night without my undivided attention to the cat?
I had to move our fish to the bathroom where I could sequester him so that the cat could go wherever he wants.
Wow.
He was tearing everything up. Yeah.
Where is he? What have you done with them?
Also, I was going to say I have collected my series of warming gifts for the studio for you both. and I expect
You guys gifts.
I expect something in return.
Yeah,
I wanted to tell you this
heads up.
because if
That
I
was
give a
very
gift,
considerate of you. We got like 6 months.
yeah,
4 months.
You have a long
Yeah.
time. That's why I like to tell you ahead of time. I'm
I don't know if I want your gifts.
Oh, you're gonna get them. You're gonna get them.
Are you one of those people that are going to be offended if I throw your gift away?
This is the unspoken part of the treaty we talked about before. The thing with Tom is he's like such an autistic minimalist that he will throw sentimental things away.
Literally not a human being.
Something that was special to someone else.
It's not sentimental to me.
Well, yeah. So someone else like really thought of you and like sent you something, and you will throw it away immediately when they turn their back because it takes up space in your house.
Yeah, I just don't want to like live with things that I don't want for 10 years because I don't want to upset someone.
Really, you just don't buy things for Tom.
All right. Yeah.
I did.
I'll take Tom's gift. I'm sure.
I
need to see it first. I might love it.
We're pretty similar.
I might love the gift.
I got you with something. You know what I'll do, Tom? I'll let Don open his days before yours, and I'll just let it really sink in, and then you won't get yours for a while.
Let what sink in? Oh, what? The Don got to open it first.
How good Don's gift is.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And I'll be like, don't worry.
I'm gonna be able to weather that storm.
You know what I'll say, don't worry though, because now you don't have anything in your fucking house with your little 10-year plan, bro. And I'll do one of these.
What kind of gift do you want, Hunter?
I mean,
I feel like that
completely defeats the purpose of what a fucking gift is, bro.
You could do a genre like a.
No, I'm not. You're not like my dad on around Christmas. Like I'm not like fucking 12, dude. You're supposed to. At this point in my life, gifts are about. It's like, yeah, give me. I want a little gift. It's up to the people to decide what it is.
Then you might receive something you hate. That's
fine. I'm a very easy gift getter. I usually.
You have like 3 tastes and they're very very strong, so it's not hard to
like what
for you.
What, Tom? What are they?
Metal.
Okay.
Cartoon stuff.
Okay.
What do you mean?
One strike.
That's not a strike.
Well, I mean, like
a cartoon. One. Oh, I'm sorry. Bart in the background. Fucking Uno on his wall. Yeah, Ed on his wall.
Those are his cartoons.
Those are mine.
So I can get him his cartoon stuff. That's a very broad fucking spectrum. Okay, what? And now the third one.
That's second. So
alcohol.
Okay, well, yeah, you can never go wrong with alcohol.
I can see. I just won. That was the easiest thing in the world.
But how do you make it a personable gift with alcohol? You don't know what's my.
You get a fucking blackened whiskey.
Okay.
I hope that's what you get him.
I'm not going to get him that because he already had that from someone else. But my point is it's not hard.
Yeah.
Well, all I hope is that there's a little thought. I just hope there's a little thought that goes into it. So when I see it, I'll be like, you really thought of me. I appreciate that because I thought of you guys.
The irony is like I definitely am the one who gives like more gifts to people like we're friends with than you do.
You did give Don. You did give Don a new desk, and that was very kind.
I gave Don a new desk. That's true.
Do you still use that desk, Don?
It's in my room. It'll probably be my office room.
He liked it so much. It's the first thing he wakes up to every morning.
Office,
that's why you got it.
Finish my home office desk until I'm probably gonna give it to Lexi and get a good desk for myself.
You love it so much, you're giving it to your fiance.
I will say the new cartoon I'm working on now comes out this Sunday. I'm interested to see what the reaction will be next week when we record next Monday of how it went over.
Oh yeah, shit.
Which I'm trying to. I was gonna ask here. Do you think that it should be called just Minecraft SMP, which is like just a popular thing in the search engine right now that I think could be good, and it's like more of a general thing, or should it be called Passion of the Craft?
Haha, that's pretty good. You have gotten to the point where your titles don't matter, and as long as it's got that pink and yellow border, you can write whatever the fuck you want. So I would do either.
This is what I deal with, people.
You deal with praise and respect. Is that what you deal with?
This is what I deal with. I try to have these two-way conversations, and it's always it doesn't matter. It's gonna do great. And then when it doesn't do as great, then I get criticized.
When was the last time it didn't do as great, Hunter?
No, he's talking about Charizard. He's still salty about that.
Okay, dude. No, you little bitches are salty about that. I had nothing to do with that.
Hunter, stop being so salty about that.
Releasing the video on fucking inauguration day. Could you not tell your ad company to be like, yeah, how about we...
Could you not have told us not to do that? You seem to have strong opinions on titles. Why not everything else, Hunter?
I forgot that it was Inauguration Day. And I don't think I've ever marked down on my calendar or gave a fuck about Inauguration Day anyway, so.
Yeah, well, that's just your white privilege talking, all right? Good for you that you don't have to care.
That is
Some of us have lives that are affected by politics.
That is true.
All right, buddy?
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Yeah, no more offensive Cobra Kai episodes.
No more.
Well, Biden will sort that
I will
out.
say I think the Cobra Kai episodes are going to be a fan favorite. I think that we're going to see a lot of edits of the girl getting railed by all these things. But then
by Mr. Miyagi.
But I am now remembering that the girl is like 14. So you didn't hear that here. Don't leak that source back to us. If you do an animated about it, that is your own idea.
Daniel LaRusso is going to have fever dreams with Mr. Miyagi railing his daughter.
Yeah, he's gonna
That'll be a cool cameo.
He's going to give away fucking bonsai trees and shit.
Bonsai.
He clips her pussy hair into a bonsai.
Okay.
It's
his daughter, bro.
No, not
you mean
no,
from
Miyagi.
behind while he's...
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, whilst he's just fucking smashing her back doors in. Yeah, he's just like clipping her into a nice bonsai.
Yeah.
No. Like that.
It does that very stereotypical Asian soundbite that's popular like amongst ninja games. It's like, oh, whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's right.
Justin,
Nice.
play it now. There it is. Remember that?
Yeah, the one doink doink.
No, not the doink doink. The
I'm not talking about the fucking Law and Order thing. There's a little like Japanese instrument that always plays with it.
Oh, ding,
that
ding,
ding
like
ding 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 ding. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that instrument?
It's like you set us up to be racist. There is no way we would know what that instrument is.
Hey,
so we're clearly
Tom,
going to default
Tom,
to something unacceptable.
Tom,
and then you guys are going to get all
real
offended because you're
cute comment,
pussies.
Tom, real
and you're
cute
just going to
comment,
fucking
Mr.
look at me all funny.
I called them old Jesus and Josie.
What's that?
You
What's that
fucking
instrument?
idiot.
Chopsticks, is it? Is it called a chopstick,
Is-
Don?
is-
That's what you want from me.
That was what you had.
That's what you want from me. You
what
set
you
me up
had
to
to-
fail.
I
When
asked
this
what a musical
podcast falls
instrument
off a
was.
bridge
I
and
asked what
careens into
musical
the water
instrument that
below,
is.
you're going
You're
to blame
talking
me,
about
but
what
it's
the
your
fuck
fault for
kind of-
setting me up.
And it's bullshit. It's bullshit.